Record. Okay, hi, we're going to get started with the webinar, Gut Cleanse, Reset Your Digestion and Detoxify. Welcome, everyone. And if you're new to Her Wellbeing, welcome. I'm Heather. I'm a CAP, that means Certified Ayurvedic Practitioner. I like to think of myself as an Ayurveda gut health expert for women in particular who want to not only work on gut health, but connect the dots between gut health and reproductive health. And you can learn more about me at my website, herwellbeing.com. I am affiliated with the National Ayurvedic Medical Association. I'm a professional member. So today, what you're going to learn is the following: why cleansing is important for gut health, for energy levels, and healthy hormones. So we will be talking about that. How toxins affect your gut health and also hormonal health. What are the benefits of a gut cleanse? And what are some superfoods you might use for gut detox and health? And also, we'll go over a couple of detoxifying practices as well. As you may know, Ayurveda feels very strongly about this this detox practice that it recommends at least once a year just to move toxins through your system. And we do that so that we can maintain digestive health, gut health, but also because Ayurveda believes everything is corrected, we're really, this is really a preventative health measure. And it's not just about food, right? It's not just about a diet, it's about lifestyle as well. So, what are the lifestyle practices that we can do to help detoxify? Here are some interesting facts about your gut that you may or may not know. Gut health does have a significant impact on your overall health. It plays an important role in keeping inflammation at bay, bolstering your immunity, supporting metabolic health, and hormone balance. And we're going to speak specifically about hormone balance today. It can be shifted. Your gut health can be shifted. It's flexible. You can do that through diet, the foods that you eat or don't eat, the way that you move your body, whether or not you exercise on a regular basis, and other lifestyle changes. So we're talking about it's not just diet. This is a holistic approach. It is with lifestyle medicine as well. In other words, healthy daily habits can improve gut health, which is such great news. It depends upon your gut health depends upon the absorption of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients from food. So your digestive health can be greater the better you can absorb these nutrients, right? So our digestion breaks down the nutrients, but how well your gut health depend how well you absorb those nutrients really depends on your gut health. So how we use the fuel from our food can depend on gut health. Your gut can be damaged by regular use of antibiotics and and over the counter medications. And so that's why it's important if you are taking medication to pay special attention to gut health. Some of us need to be on medication, right? So that means we need to pay special attention to bolstering gut health. And many health issues are a result of disrupted gut microbiome. That's really what we're talking about here, including hormone balance. And we're going to talk about that in just a bit. Before we do that, we'll talk about what is a gut cleanse exactly. So, a gut cleanse, it's not a harsh detox like in some programs. The Ayurvedic gut cleanse is very, very gentle. It's a dietary and lifestyle plan that helps to remove toxins. These are metabolic wastes and harmful bacteria from your gut before they can do harm. So that's why it's so important to do this at least, on a annual basis, if not twice. It is a type of detoxification that can help to improve the health of your digestive system. It is a process of detoxification. So it's getting rid of harmful substances that have accumulated in your body from the digestive tract by using natural ingredients like foods, plant-based foods mostly, foods rich in prebiotics and probiotics, which stimulate healthy gut bacteria growth. So overall, this will help you feel healthier, more energetic, and more focused in your daily life. We have more scientific research about gut health now because that is a very hot topic in the medical community right now. So we're getting more and more evidence about how the gut microbiome can be a key factor in living a happy, healthy life. And that's great for us who are teaching Ayurveda and practicing Ayurvedic medicine because we've been talking about that for a very, very long time. And also it's good to know that a cleanse is not right for everyone, right? So it's important that you speak to your doctor. Make sure that it sounds like a cleanse is a good program for you. Make that decision with your doctor and be very transparent about the program, this cleanse or some other cleanse. Always be transparent about what things you might be doing, what herbs or supplements you might be taking as part of a detox so they can be aware of that. Yeah, especially so if you have a serious health condition or you take prescription medications, right? We're learning more and more about drug and herb interactions. So even though herbs are natural, it doesn't mean they can't affect your medication. So it's really important just to talk to your doctor, like, hey, is it okay if I take this herb with my medication? And if they don't know, that's something that I can help with too. We do have ties with the medical community that can help with herb and drug uh, interaction. So that is a resource that we're happy to extend to your provider so they can get this information and you get this information too. Why do you need a cleanse? And we've gone over this, but here's a little bit more. So that is the center of your health, and Ayurveda understands this. It is where nutrients are absorbed, waste is eliminated. It houses beneficial microorganisms that contribute to your overall health and well being. The gut contains trillions of beneficial bacteria that aid in digestion, immunity, and energy production. If it is unhealthy, it can lead to a host of problems, including hormone balance, immune disorders, skin problems, digestive issues, and more. There's a source for that here from NIH. NIH is leading a lot of this research in gut health. Listen. So here's the gut health and hormone connection. We have something called women have in their system something called the estrobolome. Estrobolome is specific to a female body that makes female reproductive hormones. This is a collection of gut bacteria. It's responsible for metabolizing, I'm sorry, I'm not saying that word right, metabolizing, thank you, estrogens. Estrogens play, and this plays a role in maintaining hormonal balance. This is key for women. So I always say, put this in my gut health webinars. So they're aware how important gut health is for women. This estrobolome produces enzymes that regulate the reactivation and recirculation of estrogens within the body. When the estrobolome is balanced, it helps to remove the excess estrogen efficiently. Otherwise, that prevents hormonal imbalances. Otherwise, what happens is if the estrobolome is not working um, correctly, then we have excess amounts of estrogen that's circulating in our body and that's in our liver. And this can contribute to conditions, many, many conditions, obesity, but certainly cancer, different types of cancer for women, including breast cancer, including cervical cancer, all these different types of cancers because estrogen is the growth hormone. Estrogen is the growth hormone. Remember that. We need it for so many ways. Like we need it for soft skin, for skin cells to regenerate, for our bone cells to regenerate. Right, but if we have an excess of this hormone, it actually, like in breast health specifically, it encourages breast cells to duplicate, right? We don't want that. That's what an excess of estrogen can do. It leads to PCOS, infertility, and it can even affect cognitive function, and it can lead to cardiovascular disease. And I have sources for both of these because there are studies being done about this right now. By the way, cardiovascular disease is one of the um, big diseases for women's health, right? There's a lot of focus on breast cancer, but there's also cardiovascular disease is also very common. So this is really important. We're learning more and more now about just how important gut health is. And this is again something that Ayurveda um, has really taught for generations. So we're so excited. We're so excited that um, we're getting support from the medical community for this. So this is just connecting those dots. Toxins equals bad bugs equals poor digestion equals poor assimilation of nutrients and can even equal poor metabolizing of hormones, which can lead to hormone balance. So toxins they can get in the way of nutrient absorption. So we're getting less energy, and that can affect our mood too. And we can also gain weight because of this as well, because instead of that energy being used, instead of it being burned, it's being stored. So um, that's another fact too to keep in mind. And according to emerging research, disruptions in this is a quote from NIH. The gut microbiome may be one of the most significant factors in many common health conditions. For example, if you're eating a lot of, sorry, I went a little fuzzy. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm out of focus. Okay, it'll refocus. That's okay. If you're eating a lot of processed foods, like not getting enough fiber, and the gut loves fiber. In fact, it needs fiber, and that is a plant-based fiber that it needs from vegetables and fruit and greens and legumes and whole grains. So if you're not getting enough good fiber, your gut may be overcome with bad gut bacteria, yeast, or other infections that can affect your health. So we do need to remove these bad bacteria and gut bugs from our gut. Otherwise, they will proliferate and they take over from the good bugs. So how do you know that you are dealing with toxins? How do you know? So here are just a few signs. If you're feeling sluggish, low, and very fatigued, right? Now sometimes you're taking care of a condition that comes with these symptoms, right? But if you don't have symptoms related to an existing condition and you have these might be signs of toxicity. Um, your skin looks dull, you have dark circles under the eyes, so your brain is foggy, cloudy, you have trouble focusing. Again, always having that sense of fatigue, achy muscles and joints, regular headaches, feeling bloated, feeling like your metabolism is just not working for you anymore, having extra tissue around your stomach, having bloating and gas, and having skin irritations as well. Okay, so the benefits of a detox. Um, let's go through those. So obviously it's going to cleanse the digestive tract. And when that happens, it can restore the gut microbiome. It improves digestion and metabolism. It can boost your immune system. It can help maintain a healthy weight. It can reduce bloating and gas. It can improve your energy levels. It can clear your mind, certainly, and it can regulate hormones vis-a-vis the estrobolome. Okay. So what I like to put out there is, I know a lot of Ayurvedic practitioners do these big programs, and I've done those in the past. And what I've developed lately is a really easy 1 day digestive reset. And if it works, if you like it, all you have to do is repeat it. And it's very flexible. And You can turn it on, you can turn it off, right? And so I really wanted to work with a program that was very accessible. So this is what I came up with. So let's focus on cleansing foods first. So as I mentioned, the gut loves plant-based whole foods. So increasing these foods in your diet, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds. So especially the gut loves the fiber that comes from legumes and whole grains. I think some people are backing away from whole grains, and that can be problematic in this sense. So if you're not going to eat grains, you have to find other ways to kind of make up for that plant fiber, legumes or nuts or something. Um, but that's a good to know. And then you want to prepare simple cooked meals. This is mainly a cooked meal program where you're preparing fresh cooked meals for yourself. Ayurvedically, traditionally, we would use khichdi and dal, which is a stew of lentils, typically mung beans. But I like to be very flexible. So as long as it's a cooked meal that's plant-based or at least plant-forward, this is a good plan. Well, during a cleanse, we might back off of animal proteins altogether. You can also include fresh vegetable juice and fruit juices, especially if you're making your own. So you can enjoy also fresh almond, cashew milk with dates and cinnamon that can be extra yummy. So really looking at a plant-based diet here to cleanse the gut. And like I said, the gut really, really likes plant-based foods. And when I say plant-based, I mean they're actually whole foods. I don't mean like meat analogs. Do you know what I mean? Like fake meats. This is not what we want to use during a cleanse because those are processed, right? And we're going to go over more of those right now. So you want to avoid inflammatory foods. What are inflammatory foods? During a cleanse, you want to avoid eating refined sugars and sweets. So we know that sweets can trigger inflammation. You want to avoid processed foods, packaged foods, junk foods, fried foods, right? So it makes sense, right? During a cleanse, you would lead a very simple diet. If you can, avoiding caffeine and alcohol, certainly alcohol and caffeine, we can be a little bit more flexible depending on what that caffeine source is. And maybe you'd like to try green tea or an herb, or some other like low calf um, beverage, but trying to reduce caffeine intake if possible. And then avoid eating red meat and processed meats, right? And then meat in general, if you can back off of even poultry and eggs, just to give yourself a pure and clean plant-based diet. And then there are some Ayurvedic superfoods that I really like to incorporate into cleanse, and you'll find this in the Digest Reset. So mung beans are especially helpful because they're an anti-inflammatory, a natural anti-inflammatory. They help to soothe the gut and feed the gut. Remember, legumes, the gut really loves legumes, so mung beans are perfect for that. They're great as a natural antacid. So if you have an acidic digestion, mung beans may be helpful for that. And it provides a clean, easy to digest protein source during a cleanse. And there are other plant-based proteins as well, but mung beans is a good one to include. And then we have basmati rice. Basmati rice because it is very easy to digest and it provides some energy during a cleanse. And then we have certain herbs as well. Before I move on to herbs, I'll mention ghee. So ghee is an animal-based fat, a healthy fat. It is clarified butter, and it is Ayurveda's healthy fat of choice. It's specifically used in cleansing because it helps to guide those toxins safely out of the gut and down the GI tract. So that is usually the goal of an Ayurvedic cleanse is to use plant-based fibers to kind of mix things up and repopulate the gut microbiome, speaking from a modern perspective. And then we're using ghee to kind of usher those toxins, those metabolic wastes out of the body safely. So that is optional. If you do not take animal protein, you can use coconut oil. You can use a plant-based healthy fat if you'd rather do that. That is fine. Ghee just has a specific role in a detox. Now let's talk about some of these herbs. So turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory. It also supports gut flora. So if you've been on antibiotics, often sometimes a practitioner will suggest taking turmeric just to help reestablish the gut microbiome. And again, make sure with if you're on medications, make sure with your doctor that it's okay to take that. For example, if you're taking a blood thinner, turmeric has blood thinning qualities. So your doctor might not want you to also be taking turmeric along with your blood thinning medication. So the best way to go with herbs really is in small doses in your food. That's how they are intended originally, and that is the safest way probably to take them. Even if you are on medication, still talk to your doctor, but a pinch here and a pinch there of these herbs can be helpful if you're taking them with food. So ginger is another really important ally to digestion. It helps to boost circulation, detoxification, and it can also soothe the stomach. Moringa is a wonderful Ayurvedic superfood. It is a green vegetable that is usually ground, and you can find it these days. Companies are selling it as a plant-based protein powder. So if you're interested in a green that has a lot of protein, you might want to look at moringa. Moringa is very, very high in nutrients, high in protein, high in calcium, high in iron. It is just packed. It's also detoxifying. So it's really a very special superfood with many qualities. So if you're interested in taking moringa, again, just make sure that's going to work with whatever else you are taking. And we don't take it in medicinal doses, right? During a cleanse, again, we would be adding it to, you can add it to your soups. It has kind of a bitter taste. So actually what I do is I add it to a hot beverage like if you're working with an Ayurvedic coffee substitute, coffee taste is pretty strong, and you can add the moringa to that. So I like doing that. I like adding it to golden milk. It'll make it kind of like a green slash golden milk. It does have kind of a bitter taste. So a little bit goes a long way. And then I'll mention another thing about ghee. Ghee actually helps to increase the bioavailability of many of the nutrients in these herbs. So when you use these herbs in food and then you cook with ghee, then you've got a great synergy going between ghee, herbs, spices, and the food. Okay. We like to suggest a detoxifying tea during a cleanse. And really, you can take this anytime. This is a very, very simple formulation of coriander seeds, cumin seeds, and fennel seeds. You can even make this yourself, getting equal amounts of these seeds and making a tea. This is actually highly detoxifying. So we would say to get started, you are only having like 1 cup a day during your cleanse. So this is helping to aid digestion. Like I said, it's detoxifying. It's called an amapachana in Ayurvedic herbal medicine. And amapachana literally eats toxins. It digests toxins. So that's why we usually talk about CCFT. If detoxification is needed in general, but certainly during a cleanse. It balances all three doshas in the gut and in the mind. So we even talked about how our mind needs a detox as well, but it does. The mind also needs this detoxification. So all these seeds have their different qualities. Coriander is an anti-inflammatory. It's a cooling diuretic and antacid. It also lifts the spirits. Cumin seed, sharpens digestion. It's more warming, and it improves metabolism. It can help the absorption of nutrients. It also clears and sharpens the mind. And this is all in herbal medicine texts. I'm not making this up. Fennel seeds soothe gas and bloating. Fennel seeds, if you ever have gas and bloating, chew on some fennel seeds. It's really brilliant. This relieves indigestion and also increases clarity of the mind. So it's said if you're going to sit down for meditation, it's nice to chew on a couple of fennel seeds or maybe have some fennel tea. If you ever go to an Indian restaurant, you'll notice on the way out they have they have a little mixture of seeds available, and that's so that you can chew some seeds on your way out. So this that Ayurvedic medicine is incorporated into some Indian cuisine. Um, but that's why those three seeds are there. And now they're like sugar coated and flavored and I'm not a fan of that. But if they actually have just the three seeds available to you as a post-digestive, take advantage of that because there's a reason. This is why it's there. Okay. So let's move on to lifestyle practices because it's not just about the gut. It's not just about the body, it's also about the mind. So of course yoga, we're doing yoga with our bodies, but it also has a balancing effect on the mind. Certain yoga postures can be detoxifying, but if we approach our a yoga practice as this kind of nourishing mindful practice, it can really help balance the doshas in the mind. So what certain yoga postures can do also is to stimulate circulation and lymphatic flow to help toxins from the system. So you can do a stronger practice if you really want to work with lymphatic flow, but if you want it just for relaxation, more for mindfulness, I would suggest just a very relaxed approach to yoga, like a gentle yin practice helps to conserve energy. That's when you're just very gently holding some of these poses for longer periods of time. Um, Yoga Nidra is wonderful. That's a guided yoga meditation that you do seated or lying down. And so, in general, we're doing a very gentle yoga practice, and that really helps to balance the mind and balance the whole system and soothe the gut. So, gentle detoxifying yoga is really important. Also really important, and this is specific to Ayurvedic cleansing as well as the yoga component, is deep rest. And so I want to remind you that during your cleanse, whether it's 1 day or 3 or 5, and if you've never done a cleanse, I would start with 1 day just to see what it's like. Don't forget to take some time to get some much needed rest and relaxation on the day of your cleanse or reset, as I like to call it. So this means turning off your phone, taking the day off of work or doing this on a weekend, putting everything aside, put everything aside and dedicate the whole day to rest and relaxation, preparing your meals, doing yoga, doing meditation, and just resting, if that's possible. If it's not possible, maybe it's half a day, right? Maybe you're going to do a half day cleanse. But whatever time you set aside for yourself, make sure that this is part of it, is to take time out. So block your calendar, get rid of obligations, move things to another day, and commit the whole day. And then another thing you can do is journal. Journal about your intentions for this day. Do some writing. What do I want for myself? What are my wellness goals? What do I want to focus on today? Right? I made time for myself today. What do I want to accomplish with that time? Don't let it be about work, right? Don't make it about goals that concern work or make it more about personal development, right? How can I nourish myself today? How can I fill my well today? So basically you're making time to do things for you that you might not normally have time for, and that includes preparing freshly freshly prepared foods, right? Making the time for that. So at the end of the day, you might cap off the day with a nice relaxing bath. You might do a good yoga stretch or listen to a guided meditation to help you wind down for bed. And I would also suggest part of the protocol is to go to bed early because the detox process of the body naturally starts at 10 p.m. This is what Ayurveda teaches, is that at 10 p.m., even before then, you want to be in bed, and so you can facilitate or enhance that detoxification process that's going to happen at starting at 10 o'clock. So to be ready to go, to get some good rest. And then today I'd like to share with you one of the recipes that I'd like to share during the reset. This is my apple cider vinegar drink. I love this. This is specifically cleansing. So you might make some at the beginning of your cleanse and just sip on it throughout the day. But basically, the apple cider vinegar is there to naturally stimulate the gastric juices in your gut. In other words, that boosts agni or your digestive fire. So you want to kind of get that fire raring to help eat up all these bad bugs, right? So I don't suggest doing this like every day and slamming this down every day. This is like a detox thing. Um, and so it can help usher some of these toxins out of the body by way of vis-a-vis your agni, by increasing your agni. So, and it tastes really good. So you need apple cider vinegar. You can make a whole jar of this and just sip through it through the day. This is a big recipe, 4 cups of water. Then you add all the spices, many of those that we've talked about if you're using those. And then you want to add some raw honey to this and give it a good stir or shake, put the lid on, give it a good shake. You can also make, one cup at a time and just decrease the measurements. But I love this. I think it's really tasty and it's a great way just to boost digestive health and get that detox process going. Okay. So if you are ready to take on this challenge of a 1 day cleanse, if you're wondering how to do that, I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. This is a program that I have available online. So you can sign up for it and then you will get everything you need to do your own gut cleanse. So you get the Digest Reset protocol from me. It's a PDF that you can print and has all the suggestions there. And again, they're just suggestions, right? You create your own detox retreat day. I love that idea. You create your own day and just pick and choose whatever you want to do. You'll get a copy of my gut cleanse masterclass video. So this is just a portion of it. In the masterclass, we go into more detail. Okay, so you'll get the full masterclass. You'll get my Ayurvedic detox guide, and that has links to my favorite detoxifying Ayurvedic products. And then there's also shopping lists and recipes so that you can be ready to go with your reset. And then I also put in some detox yoga videos in there as well. Again, there's no pressure. You can just do some yoga stretching, but if you want to do yoga with me, then yes, I do have some yoga videos in there for you. So again, it's an online program. You can go to my webpage, herwellbeing.com, go to my services tab and scroll down to courses, and you'll see where I have all of my courses available. And I have many courses available. Um, in I can mention, hang on, let me back up right now. One of the courses that I have available is called the Clean Living Challenge, and that's available on my course page as well. This is more about detoxing your life. The gut cleanse is like internal cleansing. The Clean Living Challenge is both internal and external. We talk about what products and things in your kitchen and pantry and bathroom that you need to detox in order to stop introducing toxins into your body. So that's part of the detox process as well, is putting a stop to the toxins that we're putting into our bodies in the first place, because that affects gut health as well. So that's a demand program, you can start that at any time. And because this is since cleanse season, I do have a promotion going on right now. If you are a follower, you will get a discount code you can use to enter either of these programs, enroll in either of these programs at a discount. So in the follow-up email, I'll give you that discount if you want to get started with either of those programs. And I invite you into our online community called In Her Balance. And we have some community members here today. And so members who, if you're already in our online community, all you have to do is go to the resource library where all of our content is stored. Go to the seasonal cleansing module to start accessing these programs. So for our members, these programs are available to you and will be starting in May. May is going to be our big cleanse month. So all this month, we're just preparing and getting ready. And then in May is going to be the cleanse month where we're going to try to do all these things together. And I'll have live group coaching sessions every week. So you need to sign up for the program. Members will be invited, so they don't have to sign up for the program. But if you're not a member, sign up for the program so you can get invited to the weekly group coaching calls. And then I'm there for you every week to see how it's going. What do you want to try? What are your challenges? What are the triumphs? Maybe you are doing a cleanse. Maybe you aren't. Maybe you just have questions, how it works. But every week I'm going to show up in the month of May to be there for you as your guide, to lead you through some of these practices, whether you want to focus on diet or lifestyle, or just clean living, or all of the above. We have all of the month of May to do that. I'm super excited because this is the first year that I'm doing that. It's taking a whole calendar month to really laser focus on this because again, um, I can't understate the um, the importance of gut health for women. So this is a glimpse of the Clean Living Challenge. You get all of these resources from me. And again, for members, you should have access to this in the library. If you're not a member and you're interested, you can go to my website, go to my programs page. So if you go down from the services tab, you'll see there's a programs page, and that's where In Her Balance online community lives. You can learn more about that. We are an online community that's supporting women um, who want to lead a healthy gut health, holistic lifestyle that connects the dots between gut health and reproductive health. That's what we do. We are supporting reproductive health through gut health. That is my specialty. So join the community so you can get in on all of the resources that we have in the resource library and have access to me, send me questions, join the group page, get active in the community. It's a great place to access all the resources and also connect with the larger community. So I'm going to stop my share and open things up. My camera is still unfocused. Let me see if I can slowly bring it back. So if you want to, you can put, still not happening. There we go. You can put questions in the chat. You can unmute yourself. It's great to raise your hand, of course. And let me know. Let me know if you have questions about the specific program, the protocol of Digest Reset, or if you have questions about the program, or even if you're a member and you're like, where do I find this stuff? Or however you'd like, whatever you'd like to put in the chat, feel free. I'm actually going to stop the recording right now just to keep things really simple for our viewers. And if you are watching the replay, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thanks to everyone for being here. If you're watching the replay, reach out. You can even respond to the email that you get from me with the replay if you have any questions about this for this digest reset. You are very welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for being here. And again, if you remember, this is an exciting time. Great information. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I try to bring the two worlds together, right? I use an integrative approach. So I'm trained in Ayurveda, but I'm also really interested in bringing an integrative approach that connects the scientific research that we have that supports this path for women to follow a gut healthy, holistic lifestyle, not just diet, but overall lifestyle as well. So we can be more empowered, right? I hear a lot from women that especially that sometimes we feel like we don't have control, right, over what's happening. And Ayurveda is trying to say like you've more control than you think you do. You know, it's working with your diet, it's working with lifestyle, it's working on stress management, you know, so it's this whole program. It's not just about food and supplements. It's about how you live your life and the intention that you carry. Also so helpful, and it says also so helpful during pre and menopause. Absolutely. Like going into this, it's helpful to know that if you work on gut health now, as you're moving towards perimenopause, you can improve um, your health and overall well-being. I saw another question here. Yeah, the recipe for CCFT, that's a great question. Thank you. So that's a good reminder. I'm going to put that recipe, that's actually a whole protocol that I have. I'm going to put that in the resource library. Okay. So watch that module, the module that's called seasonal cleansing, cleanse or detox. So that's where I'll start to load some seasonal protocols for all that. And I'll include the CCFT recipe. It's super easy. It's just cumin, coriander, and fennel seeds, equal amounts. I like to use the blends from Banyan Botanical because they add things like tulsi tea and ginger, and I think it really improves the taste of CCFT. It's a very earthy taste. Certainly you can sweeten it however you like to, but I even like to add a little bit of ginger to improve the taste. I mean, some people like the taste. It's just very if you brew it really strongly, but yes, it can be strong. But if it's a very light tea, maybe with a little bit of ginger, yeah. I'll put the recipe there. And again, if you're not part of our online community, please join us. And you can do that for, it's not expensive. You can do that for a low monthly rate, and you have access to all of the resources. You have access to me via the group page. If you're doing private consultation with me, you have access to online journals. um, Anna's saying, I did not know that coriander had diuretic effects, but I figured it out. That it's better to drink it during the day, not in the evening. Thank you for that note. Yes, I mean, if it's a very mild tea, it shouldn't be a strong diuretic, right? But yes, yeah, because we don't want you getting up in the middle of the night having to go to the bathroom. So CCFT is it's great to have it. You can have it with meals. You can have it during like a tea break in the afternoon. Maybe not in the evening, right? Right before bed. But again, if it's really mild, it might not. I mean, I've never had CCFT right before bed. Usually I'm having it during the day because I wanted to have that detoxifying effect when my digestion is stronger, which is during the day. Your digestion is stronger and it's gonna make use of those nutrients. Yes, thank you. Let me see if I added anything else. So yeah, if you're watching, I'll include all the links in the follow-up email. So, members, you just need to log into your client dashboard and go to In Her Balance under your programs. That's where you can find all of the resources that I'm talking about. And if you go to the chat function, you'll also see where you can chat with me or chat with the group, right? You can find our private group page and chat with the group. Whenever you try a recipe, it's really great to the group, go to the group page and let me know. let everyone know how it went. Yeah, so a local store that sells organic cumin, coriander, and fennel seeds, Outpost. Um, yes, Outpost is a great source. They have bulk tea ingredients. While you're there, you can get a little bit of ginger root, you can get a bit of tulsi tea or some rose petals or chamomile. Like, make your own blend. I get super creative with my tea blend. So usually when I'm using CCF seeds, I'm adding some little bits and pieces there. So I love that idea. Thank you. Um, what else? Whole Foods also has a bulk store, a bulk area where you can get these things. You can also order if you plan on if you want to make quite a bit for yourself, you can get CCF seeds directly from Banyan Botanicals. They sell them like I think in a pound, so you can get a bunch. And everything Banyan sells is organic. So they're really the best quality herbs that you can find. So if you want to have like just CCF seeds in the pantry, that's a great source to go to. Um, yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's see if there are any other questions. Then you're welcome. I forgot to say you're welcome to introduce yourself and let us know where you're chiming in from. Oh, okay. I didn't realize okay, I do still have the recording going. It's okay. That's all right. These are all really good questions. I don't suggest sharing personal information during the Q&A time if we are recording. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I think that pretty much does it. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope this is helpful for you to um maybe get some inspiration for a seasonal cleanse. Spring is arriving very slowly here in Wisconsin, but this is what spring looks like when we kind of vacillate between winter weather and spring weather and high temps and low temps and snow and rain. And thank you very much, both of you, for being here. Thank you. And yeah, so I hope this is inspiring to you. Like you can take some of this information and do your own little cleanse. Start small, starts gentle. Ayurveda does not encourage anything uh, doing anything very strongly, right? So gentleness and mindfulness is always part of the intention and listening to your body to make sure that you are doing things that are right for you. So feel free to reach out, and I thank you for being here. Namaste, everyone. Namaste. Take care. And I hope to see you, members, I hope to see you inside the program. We'll be releasing that content shortly, so watch out for that. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. You're welcome. Thank you for being here.